Photography has always been a hobby, even though I may earn money from it. It's always been a hobby. It will never stop being a hobby. Even if I weren't paid to take a photo, I would still be a photographer. I've been teaching photography since 1994. I started teaching basic photography at the Ateneo de Manila, my alma mater. Right now, I derive greater joy and fulfillment from teaching others the craft, the art of photography. I always want my photos to look clean. I don't crop. I don't crop in post-processing. I crop while shooting. The way I shot it, that's the final crop. Makes life easier for me later on. When I do have to post-process and print my images, it's less work in post. I noticed also that I tend to shoot images vertically. I don't know why. It's easier for me to visualize steep diagonal lines rather than horizontal lines which are shallow. But bottom line for me, all of my images, they must have a story. They have to convey something to the viewer. I could produce a photo that's technically good, but when I look at it and I don't think the viewer will get the message, or for the viewer there is no story in my photo, I'm just gonna call it a bad shot and not just show it. Currently, my workhorse camera, it's a Canon EOS 7D. I tend to shoot in low light, and if I can get away with available light, I won't use a flash. I got the 7D because honestly, I saw a friend who had it and he took a test shot and I looked at it and I go, wow, the shot is so clean. Anything I can do while shooting to make the work go faster in post-processing, I will do. For me, the workflow always begins while shooting. And when I first tested the 7D, like, hey, this makes life simpler. My favorite lens right now, it's a Canon EF 50mm compact macro lens. I like it because it's a prime. It always reminds me to use my feet. It doesn't have the flexibility of a zoom, so I constantly train myself to go closer or move further away from what I'm shooting, because sometimes that gives me the look that I want to achieve with the image. My other favorite lens, it has to be the humble 18 to 55mm kit lens of the Canon. It's our preferred lens. We discovered that the kit lens has a big advantage over other more expensive lenses. See, most lenses can only focus up to this close to anything. A kit lens can go this close. So with us do this, you can't afford the macro. You wanna do food photography with tight shots, you want to do product photography with tight shots, hey, stick with your kit. It's there. It doesn't matter what you cannot do with what you own. You just have to concentrate on what you can do, and you always do it as best as you can. Don't complain to me that you can't produce a great shot because you're just using a kit lens. See, I can do a lot with a kit lens. It's just a matter of evolving your shooting style to fit what the kit lens can do. Share the knowledge, don't be greedy. You gotta share the knowledge, because when I was learning the craft, a lot of people shared their knowledge with me. Usually when people consult with me about problems with their cameras, it all boils down to one fact: they didn't read the manual carefully. Now, I know that that manual, it's big, it's thick, it's daunting. You don't have to read everything in one sitting. You know, just use your camera, and when you encounter a certain problem with one function, well, that's the part of the manual you read and try to understand. Then you shoot some more. When you encounter another problem with how to use your camera, go back to the manual. If you keep on doing that, in the long run, you would have learned how to use your camera, and you don't have to think about the camera so much while shooting. See, the more you master the camera, the less you have to think about it while shooting. So you pay more attention to the subject, to creating a great image, instead of, how do I use my camera? Guys, read the manual. Hi, this is Joe Avila, and you're watching Camera Geek TV.
Noong 1880s, Nalaman ng mga German scientists na kapag pinaghalo ang magnesium powder at potassium chlorate ay maaari ito gamitin bilang flash powder o flash. Ang liwanag na ito ay esensyal sa ating mga photographers, lalong-lalo na kapag sila ay kumukuha ng mga litrato sa loob ng isang silid o kapag madilim. Ang ilaw na nagmula sa chemical reaction na ito ay mapanganib sa ating mga kalusugan. At maaari rin ito magsimula ng apoy kapag mali ang paggamit. Kaya noong 1927, naimbento ng General Electric Company sa Amerika ang flash bulb. Ito ay mas ligtas sapagkat ang combustible filaments ay nasa loob ng bulb kahit ito ay lumiliyab. Yun nga lang, kapag 36 shots ang kailangan mo ng flash, 36 light bulbs din ang kailangan mo. Kasi, one time use lang. Salamat sa Amerikanong si Harold Edgerton ng MIT dahil na-improve niya ang flash tubes na maaaring gamitin ng paulit-ulit bago ito mapundi. O ano, masaya na ba kayo sa mga pop-up flash ng mga cameras nyo?